Hello everyone! Maayong gabi sa tanan. So welcome ang tanan no for our third takeaway Thursday. Yee! Excited di silang tanan. Sige, kumusta ka Gisela?
I'm good. Energized.
Naku naman.
Daghan og na-accomplish this week and very good.
Yes,
Ikaw, kumusta
yes.
ka?
Yes, I'm very productive. Charot. Tapos, daming blessings. Dili lang siya financially, no? But actually, it's more of kana spiritual na mga blessings, mga revelations. And, of course, happy ko kay Guyaw ang atong Kuyaw. mga mga amazing
Mga
ato ang
bigatin.
mga bigatin ang atong mga guest
Sure.
karon gabi una, and I believe daghan yun kayo ang nangandam, no? Daghan
Daghan
kayo
ang
ang
excited.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So kana magkuan siguro ta, shout out ta sa mga tao na nagapaminaw sa ato Gisela.
Shout out na kay Margie.
Uy, supportive naman.
Si
Hi,
Ate MG
Margie.
and Ate Mary Ann. You're watching. Hello, Ate MG, Ate
Ate
MA.
Twins,
We
Tweety.
miss you so much.
Sige, sino pa? Of course, dili mo walang kinakusga na si Jenny Joy and si Riley. Di ka
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny, and hi, Riley.
Hello, Jan. Hello, Jan. Okay, so ready na ta?
So magpaila-ila na ta sa tong ano din nato dugayon kay fini na ko taas itong discussion karong
gabi. Gani, Giselle ha, ang dama po yung mga personal questions kanang wala sila kabalo na i-ask na to sa kanang ma-shock sila ng question. Bad kayo, no? Anyway, okay. So, first in line, Nox naman. Batchmate na ako ni siya high school, no? He's actually a year younger. Tapos, baguhay lang, na ako'y mga na-discover, no? Bago lang may nag-istorya na karong gabi una. And I have discovered, na-aday siya yung mga amazing na mga testimony, no? And, wala kay ko nakabalo after high school man gud unsang nahitabo sa iyang life and kuan abi na ko well off ni siya. So anyway, siya na lang ang mag-istorya sa iyang life. Amazing because he's actually used to be the president of the Y2DN. Wala niya giingon sa to Giselle ganina noon. Discover lang nato from someone. Bantay lang gani si Gab. This kind sa Yusep Obrero. So yeah, good leader. And he's also into the business. So he's nanalo siya. So ano yun? Top 25 yung
young
marketing
marketing
leaders of the Philippines. First na taga Mindanao. So yes, amazing.
Bigatin.
Such an honor. Sikat-sikat si Gabe. So yeah, please help me welcome Gab Lucero. Woo! Hey, Gabi.
Hi, Gabi. Hi, Gab.
Gab, are you in? Tingog na po si Gino Cell.
Lagi ang among iro. Pasensya kayo, guys. Wait lang.
Okay na si Gino. Kasali na siya sa kuan. Mga bloopers. Raw and real beta din eh. Asa na si Gabi? Gab? Nakamute
Hello?
ka, Gab. Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Hi, Gabi! So, kumusta ka sa waiting room?
Okay po.
Okay
excited.
Wala nakulbaan ka, wala?
Wala man. Medyo serious lang.
Gani, ano ka seryoso, Gabi? Seryoso gud kay si Gab. Anyway, okay, Giselle, sino ba ang next natin? Speaker? Panelist?
Okay, so our second guest for tonight. So this woman is very close to my heart, no. I've known him as one of my campus ministry leaders way back when I was college. And she really impacted a lot in my life, no, on leadership and womanhood, the way that I should handle myself and carry myself as a Christian. And she's working as a virtual assistant, and her ministry is she's into discipleship for those women who are mga young women, especially those mothers nga naa lang sa balay. And she is also into music ministry. So kato lang, and At siya na
Yeah.
magpaila-ila pa mo. So, ayun.
Sige, ilo na to sila later, no? Og ka nang in a deeper way. In a
Okay,
deeper way.
so this woman, she is Ate Sheng, Mrs. Shalome Ladero.
Yes, sa mga nagtatanong kung misis na ba siya, yes po. Amo yun nang i-confirm, misis na si Ate Sheng.
Hello, Ate.
Hi, te!
Welcome to the show.
Hi!
Hi, te!
Hi
Hi, Ate
guys!
Sheng.
Maayong
Kumusta sa waiting
gabi sa
room?
tanan. Ay, nag-watch ko sa Pika, so nanghawan ako dito para dili mag-doble-doble ako madunggan. So, yeah, but hi guys. I'm very excited for tonight. Very unexpected, but I'm very excited sa unsang pagabuhaton sa Ginoo for tonight. Not just
Yes,
for the
yes.
viewers, but also for me personally. So,
Amazing. O, sige. So, bakbakan na tayo. na tayo. Sitaw. So, karon no, given na you guys are known to be leaders, kanang na ministry, no, may ginahandle na mga tao, na mga business, may ginahandle din na tao. So, paano ba yan? Diba? So, lahi ang inyong, ano yan, norm, lahi ang inyong habits, and then before the situation, before this crisis. So, Kato, how did you, ano yan, adapt? What were the major changes?
Okay, so
Sino ang una?
atong una pa ansero.
The major changes yun na nahitabo sa ko is when I'm a very relational person, my God. So I would always really look out for people. So, and I am also always expecting to be always around with people, especially kadong mga gina-disciple na ko, ana, and most of the time, sila diri sa mo ang balay. So, mura siya o ganang meeting hub na mo, tanan, ano ba. So, what major changes ganyan nakita ko sa ko is kato, the reality that we need to somehow distance ourselves. Karon medyo luag naman karon. So ang pinaka major change yun is on how we try to also reach out to people even online. So I think the best gift that God has given to us in this generation is really technology. Although
Yeah.
many people would say na technology is bad, technology is negative, social media is really eating up a lot of your time in spending time with the Lord, that kita isip mga Kristiyano, mga disciples ni Lord, we should take it in the perspective of strategy ba, no? Because instead of doing just nothing, we have been given the opportunity by God to use this media to reach out to people. So to ubay po, medyo lisod lang kayo siya because the sincerity is different when you talk online, lahi tong chat,
What do
lahi
you
to
mean, Gab, na sincerity? So, feeling mo medyo duda ka sa sinseridad ng mga
ano,
tao?
kaya sometimes good ay mga tao na mag-chat na kuya or sir na I need your help. I've read your nagasulat ng pagkuusahay. So usually sa Facebook, so I've read what you have written ana, or I've heard your story ana. Daghan naga-reach out even from other places like Manila ana. So medyo lisod siya kay syempre, di man din mo sila makita personally. You won't be able to show to them ba how sorry are you na those things happen sa ilang makinabuhi. But nevertheless, the sincerity is really on the purity of love ba nagihatag sa Ginoo sa ato so we can share that to others. So mato, ang pinaka major change na ako karon is on how we reach out to people. Ana.
Tama, no, kay pwede sa social media, pwede sila mag-istorya og something na kanang dili nila ginahimo or sa ba no, na sila pwede i-add or ikuhaan nga story or something kay kanang pwede ano yan, naka-type lang kasi, naga-type lang or virtual lang no.
But
so
in fairness pud ba kay kadong mga naga-share kay they would always say to me na kani walay nakabalulain, even my family, my friends, my closest friends wala. So I think the sincerity na ay gyud sa lahat, the honesty, the intimacy na sa lahat. Ang challenge lang gyud sa to ay isip mga light of the world na gi-assign ni Lord is to really be able to show to them na you are sincere with what you are sharing to them.
Tama Gab. O si Ate Sheng.
okay, so one of the greatest changes actually, when it comes to work wise, like career wise, not much changes because I've been working from home
Mm,
for like 6 years
online.
now. Pero
Mm.
when it comes to like spiritually, emotionally, it changes me a lot. Okay, like sa katong before quarantine season, like mo to me sa church because na naman ko yung family karon no, and we would go to church every Sunday, and sometimes mawala tong sense of like um what do you call that, genuine or genuine fellowship
Mm.
kay kana for attendance reason sa kanang ana lang ba for just to let others know that hey, I'm around, so nothing is wrong with me, maraging ana good. Pero
Mm.
sa dihang ning abot ning quarantine, I really miss the fellowship. And kana bang
Mm.
dito sa church magtabi na kasi syempre familiar na kaayo ang nasa church,
Mm.
mga friends, and so magsige na nagtabi during sa sermon ana. But dito sa karon na quarantine season na mas na feel kung I mean baliktad sa mi ni Gab no, kay kung siya na feel niya na dili ka ang sincerity something ana, ako naman I really felt the sincerity of people na nag-reach out sa kuha. So and even katong mga tao na both people reaching out to help and katong mga tao na asking for help. Because, you know, it's very hard na online lang. Kapoy yung mag-type. Unya na bitang. Kapoy mag-type na, Ate Sheng, aning. And
Mm.
sa ako apod na part, kanang family person naman good ko. I'm a wife and I'm a mom of two. So, like, daghan kaayo kog schedules along the day, and pero si God mismo ang nag-speak sa kuha na I should make time for this person kay importante ni na
Mm.
person sa kuha. And so I'm just so blessed during sa quarantine season, and makarelated pud ko kay Gab na to be honest, I'm not bragging, pero ang karon na crisis, it's not a crisis at all sa ako, it's a breakthrough instead.
Mm.
Kay naay nangabot ng mga opportunities na I've been waiting for years.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah, like I've been praying to like have not really have but to kanang have an avenue of sort of a company na makahimo siyang avenue to help other people sa especially
Mm.
sa online world. And limited kaya akong mga resources before the quarantine. Like I
Mm.
want to help everyone, pero after training them or after maybe some kind of tudluan sila kung unsa ni siya, but after that wala na ko'y avenue, wala ko'y maatag na mga other ways. But during this quarantine it's really a breakthrough kay
Mm.
kay naay avenue na gi-provide si Lord. But I'm gonna talk more about that later
Oo,
maybe.
ato anang i-pick up mamaya, ate. Sige.
Yeah.
So, ano yan, 'di ba may sinasabi ang mga tao ngayon na new norm. So, what do you think about that? O sige, sinong mauna?
Sheng.
Okay. Okay, so ako, new normal, right? So sa ako naman, ang new normal is not something negative for me. I view it
Mm.
sa positive jud na side. Like dili just for the sake na magstorya ko karon, but really my own experience and sa akong family, because I see it I see the new normal right now as a better way of living. You know,
Mm.
people in the world right now kay nagkaroon sila sense of mortality, because maybe
Yes.
before the quarantine they felt secured with their jobs, they felt secured with their health, they
Yes.
felt secured with whatever they have. But during the quarantine, nang na ay sense of fear na oh hantod ka na sana lang ko mabuhi or ana ba. But you know what, that sense of fear has led people into asking God for help
Yeah.
and asking God's intervention to change kung unsa man ang mga siguro too much pollution or too much ka ng toxic na kaya ang kalibutan that kailangan siya i-reset.
Mm.
So I really see the new normal right now as a very good thing for everyone. Kanang sense of mortality and a sense of fear kay God na miskig na pa kay daghang kwarta, pero
Yes,
kung
te.
ano
True.
ba, it's only God. It's only God who controls our lives. So
Pantay-pantay
that's
ta
it.
ngayon eh, no? May pera
Yeah.
ka o wala.
You have to
Tinuod,
make
tinuod
Oo,
jud.
'di ba?
Mag-shopping ka, di makaka-shopping kay sirado ang
Exactly. Okay, how about Gabby?
So people are actually talking about new normal, no? So kadong gingon ni Ate Sheng, ganiha na new normal is the better way, or the better way of living a life, which I would always agree with when my
Mm,
friends and I are talking about it, because for me the new normal is the original design of our life, of our ways ba. And when we say original design, it's always better when you talk about original. No? For example, na isa ka fake na putang, na isa ka fake na bagay. And when you
mm.
compare that to something that is original, dito may ka sa original because the quality, ang pag-endure niya sa situations na agyo dito because nasa quality. So, unsa gyud
So, ibig
ang
sabihin,
origin.
may ano talaga, Gab. So, when we say original, so naagyod, anong tawag dyan? Naagyod specific normal. Hindi siya
Yes,
relative for you.
yeah, for me naagi specific normal na gi-design sa atua. Like for example,
Interesting.
maghatag og illustration, moingon si Lord na keep the Sabbath day holy. No, don't do any work every Sunday. So because
Mm.
kanang labi na sa mga professional, sa mga businessmen, ana, or mga young professionals, busy kay tagpadato. So sometimes
Mm.
every Sunday makuhaan pa yun, imbes it's time to rest, it's time to just spend time with your family and with the Lord, and makuhaan pa na ba. So I think God is bringing us to the original design because every Sunday is a lockdown. So
Mm.
murag
Yeah.
dili tayo mo gusto mag-rest, so I put you in a lockdown. So nya ang
Ay, oo,
ikaduha,
no? Mm.
gyud na original design sa tuan ni Lord is really being able to have quality time with our family and friends ba,
Yes.
without uh without distractions or unsa ba, work or social media,
Mm.
etc. But it's like God has removed all the distractions. Mama good jud na before sa Garden of Eden pa lang daan na everything is provided for. No, they just really needed to live their lives according to the favor of God, or in full dependence to the favor of God. And I think that's what is happening right now. No? God is putting us into the lockdown so that we realize that we are nothing without Him ba. So
Yes.
I think that is something na kailangan na to ma-remember, no? Kay kadong gi-mention ganiha, maskin dato, maskin pobre, we are all equally the same, which is also our original design, no?
Yes.
Always na ginabalik ni Paul sa to, walay dato, walay pobre, walay Jews, walay Gentiles, basta atubangan
Mm-hmm.
sa Ginoo, equal katanan. So I think mana original, and when we say original, it's always better.
Yes. Okay. Nice point, Gabby. Kasi we've been talking about normal since last week pa ba? Tapos kana gid no, we used to have this normal, the original design, which is basically according man gid sa Genesis, no, book of Genesis. But the people has developed their own norms, no?
Mm,
Maunang kana perhaps this is the very time that why God allowed this situation, this crisis to happen in order for us to go back to what normal should be, no, and which is kato going back to the original design. So kana, no, nice point. Bitaw mura ta gina-homeschool ni Lord karon actually, no.
correct, yes.
'Di ba, gina-homeschool ta ni Lord. Dili day mo maminaw, ha, so sige, i-homeschool ko kayo, tama ba? What do you think, Giselle?
And katong gingon nimo ganyan nga, our life before the COVID, it's like a bondage, no? We are into work, we are into pursuing our career, our dreams, very selfish, no? But right now, God is really leading us to a life na kanang wala gitay laing choice but really to turn back to Him. And that's the
Yes.
best thing that is happening right now, because even tong mga wala kay Jesus, they're nakailan na sila because of this lockdown. So God is really doing something great, even
Down
in
pa,
our
Lord, more.
midst, God is really steering a revival in our midst, and
Amen.
the best thing
Man.
that is happening right now. So
Bitaw, wala pa'y lockdown, Giselle. Dugay na na-lockdown ang mga tao actually, no? Na-lockdown sa sala, na-lockdown sa, ano ba, na-lockdown sa mga mali na mga pagbati, no? So, karon this is the best time na i-assess ang mga kaugalingon. Sige, go ahead, Sel, nakaingon.
So, karon, what are those habits, attitudes, or skills that you try to learn and unlearn during this quarantine period? Sige, una ta kay Gabi.
Sige, manay question ang pinaka-excited ko to bagon. So, ang habit or skill na first gilearn yun ako this season is gardening. So,
Oh,
I've always been excited about gardening ba. So, in fact,
Ay.
when actually before ko nag-business, I was an employee for more than 5 years.
Mm.
Tapos I was also able to rise up to the ladder of kanang promotions and etc. etc. But there is really something in my heart na gusto ko mag-quit because I wanted to pursue farming. So wala ko yung opportunities before, but kanilang yun ang opportunity nga nahatag ko because I had the ample amount of time to do gardening. So isa po sa mga na-learn yun ako ani na season is in the book of Revelations, we were really warned or we are being given the di man siya warning no but a prophecy ana siguro or sa ba oh like a prophecy na there would be a time na there would be mark of beasts na the mark of beast na ihatag sa mga tao ba and we are encouraged and we are really highly encouraged not to really succumb to that kind of principle ba so na time in the near future perhaps no na dili na ta pwede makabaligya dili na ta pwede makapalit kung wala tatong mark no, as what they say is karong 666 so it's better that we start as early as right now growing our own food in our backyard because kung di na ta makapalit in the near future at least na natay alam ng mga urban gardening karon so ikaduha na ako ang pinaka na learn or skill na pinaka na-learn this moment is or this season is being agile. So
Mm.
na-inspire ko sa no many people would say or they despise the big business tycoon sila Mark Zuckerberg according to the news no the top 10 richest people on earth actually gained more than 200 billion pesos ay no 200 billion US dollars in profit. So dagan nag-ingon na okay mga kapitalista but it's just the way of thinking nila ba na when something happens they need to be agile no? They need to
Mm.
move quickly because they need to cope with the quote unquote new norm and I think that's the opportunity that they have seen no and I think kung si Lord po mag-bless siya og isa ka tao according sa proverbs no if the godly is put in the authority everybody will rejoice no but if the wicked will be put in the authority everyone will go into hiding so it's the Lord's
Mm.
desires ba na mag-raise up siya og mga Kristiyano na mga head and not the tail
Yes.
mga
Yes.
businessmen na mga naay mga prinsipyo solely rooted on the word of God ba so I think that's the
Amen.
one thing na kailangan yun na to i-master no na we are not just called to win disciples you know na that's our ultimate calling no but aside from hindi naman siya aside but on next to that we also have the responsibility to fulfill what
Mm.
the talents no the gifts the skills na gihatag ni Lord sa tuwa because according to the parable of talents singlon na kita ni Lord
Mm.
pag human ani tanan so it's the matter on how we use what we have been given ba so mo to
Mm.
agility and gardening man ako ang learn karon na season
Mm.
because
Mm.
out of this season I was able to start a little or small business lang po yun. So lipay po ko na it was able to also cope with the system na to karon.
Wow.
So I think mao gyud na ang ako ang na learn na skill karon and ako ang
Mm.
gina-try og unlearn is kana being busy na so
Busy in, like what do you mean? Busy kaya ka
uh,
always,
gani
Gabi.
wagal pero karon lahi na mo gud ang lahi na akong business karon because I have set priorities in terms of mato kada every Sunday na to never really do any works during that time
Mm.
no because being busy that does not mean productive man god so we
Yes.
can always
Right,
busy
right.
working something sa to ang kinabuhi but
Mm.
the real productivity is or the real success out from being busy is when we know we have done our assignment ba no, more than just the business but being able to reach out to the people yun mao gyud pinaka-importante
So, muna mo i-unlearn
yeah
pagiging
manawi
busy.
yeah ganahan gyapon ko maging busy, but busy which equates to productivity, not being busy without
Yes,
really
that's right.
achieving something in life ba. So dapat significant yun ang actions
Mm.
during this time.
Nice siguro no next time, Giselle, basig no magkuan ta og mga ano yan, Zoom call, tas business tips. May istorya lang tag unsay mga possible business na mga no, di ba yung parang ganyan? Ay,
Pwede.
nice. No, nice siya na topic. Kasi invite ka na namin ulit ka.
Pwede,
Ikaw ba
pwede.
yung kuan? Anyway, before ta mo proceed kay Ate Sheng, mag-highlight na sa mga bagulang nanulod kay Ate Pink. Kay JR. Hello there. Ito, si Eureka, si Aizel, si Ma'am Glendy Joy. Uy, akong mama nanonood. Hi, Ma. Marceline. At saka si Auntie Sally. Hi sa inyo. Salamat for watching. Thanks for watching. O sige, Ate Sheng.
Alright. So, the things, the skills, no, and habits na gina-learn and unlearn. Excited po kay kuha nga question actually.
Sige, te.
Kay nagkuan ba kana bang quick evaluation of where I'm
Mm.
at right now. So when it comes to habit, I'm always trying to learn karon na moment during the quarantine. I'm learning again. I would say again because I used to do it before. So I'm learning again to listen to God more, like step by
Yes.
step. Yeah. And I'm learning to just give it all to God. Like na mga times na murag feeling na ako ambot lang ko maka-relate mo na I do have this ingon nila nga murag messianic complex kana bang sometimes you think na mas-save ni mo ang isa ka person sa isa ka situation because you just desperately want to help. Ambot lang kung naka-feel mo ana.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Mm.
yeah, I just found out na messianic complex na yung term ana.
Mm.
Usahay my husband would kanang mukuan siya ba nga, hoy, it's not your job, it's God's job. So just do your thing kung unsay imong kaya buhaton to help someone, but it's really up to God sa mga changes na mahitabo sa kanang life. Anyway, so padayon ta, so accept things that I cannot change. And when it comes to learning, main God kanang allow this to happen na ay mga opportunities na nag-abot during the quarantine. So I'm learning more skills. Siguro mahulog po siya kanang marketing kay dili man gud ko into marketing jud before.
Mm.
Like kanang I'm into public speaking siguro kanang mustorya sa public and muwali or unsa pa mo motivate in any way I can, but when it comes to like business jud na technical na business na mo close og deals mo
Oo.
mga yung ana I'm
It's a
learning
different din, no?
that's
Different na ano
yeah,
siya. Lahi siya
so
na
lahi siya.
pamagi of communication.
And ang good thing ani is I'm not trying to close deals for the sake of impressing my client. I'm trying to close deal kay every time maka-close ko deal, every time I'm not sure kung kailangan ko explain no ang ano sa virtual assistant world, but kanang once na ay client, so naapod siya dapat VA. Maging ana amo ang type sa mong
Mm.
business karon. So every time I close a deal, every time a client signs up sa mo ang service, naay isa ka VA na magkaroog job. So
Mm.
so mao na siya ang ako akaron na gina-learn how to close deals, and every time I would do consultations with the clients, especially no mga Americans sila, you have to speak English all the time. Mura
Mm.
mo mahutdan kog English. Kana bang Lord, sa kay term ato. Or nga na good. Nya, una nga I would really pray and Lord kana paras ka ganina I would just set an example ganina kana bang makabalo man gud kano kanang ang person may ngon it's not gonna work out. Kanang mo na gud
Mm.
mga linya.
Mm.
Pero anak ko Lord, ikaw na bahala ani Lord. So I really thought na kato siya na client is kanang mo say no dun sa service.
Mm.
And pag mata na ko ganinang morning around 9 in the morning, kay tingala ko nagbayad siya. Nagbayad siya sa service. So, I was
Wow.
so surprised. I was so surprised. So, anak ko nga, Lord, ikaw jud
Wow.
to. Kay
Oo.
kung ako jud to kanang niingon magay siya it's not gonna work
Di
out.
na.
Tapos si
Mm.
Kalit siya sign up. And so, kana siya. So, skills. And dito sa unlearning skills is I'm unlearning right now to worry. I'm unlearning to be anxious, and
Mm.
kanang gina-unlearn nako nga dili magsigkabala ka lagi kay usahay manggod
Nagkabala
kining
ka sa
mahimo
unsa rin ginakabala ka ante?
daghan na butang like
Mapositive ta ana.
kay like sa ako ang dili not sa COVID na sakit. Nang usahay ka ng, syempre I'm a mom and
Mm.
we have a lot of bills. Not just the bills at home but kanang sa company mismo kay karon man good ang setup sa company mo ako ang utok pero lahi ang naga-finance ba. And so
Mm.
kailangan ako ang mag-set of plans unsa ang next strategy buhaton. May ana ba. So dagag worry, murag feeling ako kana sa ko shoulder tanan kanang
Oo.
ana ba. And so mo ano na pud akong husband na hey dili lagi na imong job gibuhi ta sa Ginoo sa ing ani nga for a
Ah.
total of 6 years now, so ayaw ka balaka ana. And
Man.
I would just like to share this serenity prayer. I'm not sure kung familiar ang uban ani, but
Sige, sige
maybe
daw
this
te.
would sum up sa ako ang unlearning and learning things. God, grant me the serenity to accept things that I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So, ana good na
Mm.
i-grant ta ni Lord sa ako ang nga mo accept ko sa mga butang na di na ko mabag-o. And courage pod to change, to make a move sa mga changes na pwede ra nako mahimo. And wisdom to know the difference kung asa ang pwede
Mm.
ma-change na kay nasa ang dili na ko ma-change. Yeah.
Nice tong point te. Gwapo tong point na giingon ba na instead na naging aniyan curse ang dating sa imuha itong pandemic ba. Ay kaning nga situation. Nahimo nun siya na blessing. So, yeah, can you share more
Mm.
about it? Is it something
Sure.
na kinahanglan ba perspective ba na nato or nadyoy mga open doors or kinahanglan usbon lang gid nato ang ato ang kuan o panglantaw? Unsa
Yeah,
may
so actually it's both. Like kadtong
mm,
nag-start ang pandemic, I thought that my campaigns, I mean, daghaman good ko campaigns karon like gab I'm outsourcing it to people also. So,
Mm.
um katong time na nag-start na ang quarantine, so na ay mga businesses na nag-close even in the US. So,
daghan
miskig
cute
moingon
eh,
ka,
daghan
oo,
cute
tinuod. So
actually.
miskig online me na aga po'y affected ng
Oo.
mga businesses.
Yes,
So
yes.
na ay mga nag-pause jud like na on hold jud sila nga mga campaigns. And so nag-start po ko dito ka worry kay how about my workers kinsa ang I mean wala sila work, wala sila ana. Unya
Yeah.
ako karon kay which kanang naami sa process na bago lang na award sa grasya sa Ginoo, bago lang na award ang balay nagikuha ba sa DECA. Tapos ara ko hala unsa na ako pagbayad ani Lord, ana ko Lord ikaw baya niingon ha nga kanang kay we've been living with our parents for almost 3 years na siguro. And so
Mm.
sige ko pray Lord, di ba ingon ka sa imong word Lord na kanang pag magminyo na ang babae ug
Mm.
lalaki dapat mag-separate na jud sila ana. So Lord ikaw jud mag-provide ani among balay Lord. So kanang praise God this year jud na award jud siya. And so the lockdown comes
Mm.
kay yung mo to na kanang daghan kog worries. Tapos niabot jud sa point na murag ang bread and butter na mo na mga campaigns na both na put on hold. And so ko la unsaon na ni Lord kung saan
Mm.
na ni karon nya kanang moto. And so this moto ni abot to yung ginaingon ako na avenue nga I've been praying for years. And unexpectedly kanang ginaingon na unexpectedly expected kana bang gina-expect nimo siya but wala nimo gi-expect na karon na season maabot sa opportunity ana ba. So naabot ni isa ka client na who just said yes to my business
Mm.
proposal. Okay, I'm gonna finance everything and you will
Mm.
run it. Ano marang ana ba? And so moto nahimo siyang avenue na katong mga tao na walay work or gusto magkaroog work yan ay mga potential pod kay ako silang gipangkuan na hey mo
Alati,
ni
basig inig human rong gabi kay daghan mga play sa imuha. Katong mga
ako
viewers.
jud do
Mapasa
nimitatos. So kana nahimo siyang mura siya katong si Joseph di ba tong katong nahimo nagoy katong famine sa tibuok
Ah,
kalibutan
opo,
tapos
Joseph
ang
the
Egypt
Dreamer.
lang ang naka-cater sa need
mm,
niya sa iyang
Yes.
family mismo. I really felt that nang ano ko ba na Lord muro manig katong kay Joseph na time
Mm.
uy nga katong
Mm.
nagkaroon og ka ng famine tapos sing
Mm.
ana but grasya ra gyud siya sa Ginoo tanan good guys like night times magpander ko Lord kanang it's not that I've worked so hard for this, but ikaw jud ang naghatag og way ani.
Oo.
Ikaw
Which
jud.
I think is, ano gyud tama gyud. Christians are actually called to rise up in this time. So munang, nindot kayo ba ang testimony ni Gab, testimony ni Mo, how you have been, ano yan, parang, yung mustard tree, 'di ba, na sinasabi sa Book of Matthew, na pwede ta mo shelter no ug ubang mga tao. So sa kana sa mga tao nga na in need and all. So kay na ano mo gani nga nalipay mi kay namoy na discover na yung ana ng mga ano yan, mga pamaagi. So ang sa tawag ani si Gabi, si Gab. Busy pa si Gab. Sige, si Gab. Okay ka na? Okay lang, Gab? Kani
Yes.
kay na magyud kay na share ganina Gab no katong about sa imuhang past. Di ko yun alam. So kana you've been through this anong situation ba na medyo lisod. So how do you meron bang secret Gab? Ano na dayon no? Meron bang secret ang first Mindanao winner ng charot lang. Bitaw unsa ang secret how to makalingkawas ka ba sa imong situation na lisod? How do you get out of it?
Okay.
Yeah, mag-jump ka to, sa something that is brighter and mas nindot na kuan. Is it possible ba na from kalisod, no? Kasi nga nga situation to go out of this situation and make the good out of it? So, paano? If ever
Yeah.
meron.
Yep. That's a good question. But in fairness, before I answer the question, in fairness, lang good. I can say na I'm really receiving so much na Zoom discussion more than I am giving ba. So I'm really blessed
Aww.
na may ka ba pero naga-type mo ko diri mga notes so ganahan ko sa mga na-discuss but
Dako
sa kadong going back to the question, I think the key there is really having the peace,
Yes.
that transcends all understanding because kadang na-mention mo ganiha before that I always really advocate actually na ako isa ka post medyo nag-semi-viral sa nakaabot sa dito sa other places and
Wala, uy. Viral.
then
Baka viral.
during
Gid siya.
during that time I was still employed in a private company so they told me to take down the post because
Nga no. Kuan siya, bad?
they feel it's too sensitive and it's too
Mm.
religious quote unquote so mo to gitawag gito sa mo ang sa office so kulbaan kay ko because I thought I did something wrong or I disclosed something wrong na because ang unsa may nasa content dito ang nasa content dito was my story before
Mm-mm.
I was a victim of this is a very seldom issue that we always that we never talk about especially with men but I am a victim of sexual abuse for when I was still a child. So it contributed so much sa ako ang kinabuhi that until I grew up, I had a lot of tendencies of depression, of identity crisis, and
Mm.
I've been into wrong sexual relationships before, but way before I decided to follow the Lord Jesus Christ. So wala ko yung maingan during that time. But for me,
Mm-mm.
ang pinakahadlok yun dato sa kuan time was when anytime could happen na magkasakit ko because of my lifestyle ba. So
Mm-mm.
ito, for the longest time nakulbaan ko if I've had the disease and so mo to when I encountered the Lord sa kuan kinabuhi, everything changed sa kuan. It was a process and it's still a process as of this moment. But it was it started with the moments sa kinabuhi that I was abused ba. So there are a lot of people there. Kaya kada magong times na nagkakaon ko leftover sa McDo. No, those were just very easy moments ako because I've been through a lot harder. Ano good. So may mga times na I would earn money because of the things that I did before. Ano good. So lisod siya and it's depressing and it's very dark, it's dirty, it's messy. But one thing lang yun na naka-enable sa ako to overcome is when I started to understand that Jesus is the Prince of Peace. No?
Mm.
Ganahan ko sa giingan ganihan na there are things that we could not really control. So we just
Yes.
really let go and let God. So mo to until eventually na nahitabo, naka-encounter ko kay Lord, I was changed. And then after 5 years pa ako nagpa-test. So medyo kulbaan kayo ko. But during that moment, kay mao gyud ang pinaka liberating moments ako, because I finally understood that having an overcoming spirit, but does not mean that you need to be really strong or you need to be strong-willed, but you just really need to say to yourself that you are weak and you need God in your life. And then there comes peace sa imong kinabuhi or sa imong kasing-kasing, because I would always remember the story kadong sa boat na naay lake and then naay storm, which is very unlikely to happen na magkaroon og storm sa lake, no? And that's how problems really are. It's there are things that are really unlikely to happen pero di ta makasabot nga mao man ang nahitabo. No, it's just the same thing as a storm in a lake. So sometimes if we just focus on the storm and we do not focus on on the people na ato ang kauban sa boat, that's the time that we start losing our sanity ba, so mabuhang ta, no, we get depressed, no, we can't overcome, no, it's so dark, ano. But when we start to realize, okay, I don't need to fear, because the Prince of Peace is with me right here, no, the same storm that made me tremble is the same storm that made him sleep. So I think and I'm really sure that he is able to calm down the storm sa akong kinabuhi ba. So if there's anyone that yun na maybe there are struggles in lang life na dili nila masulti, there are abuses in the past that are causing them to struggle right now, to compromise right now, no, and it's costing you your peace. I'm really sure that you just really need to remind yourself that you're in the same boat with Jesus, no? And when you cling to him, you would really have peace and the courage to open up, no? Because I would end with this question, with this sa kanina question in the book of James, ingon dito na confession to God brings forgiveness, and confession to men brings healing. So find people to talk to, hanap para maging peaceful kasi mo situation karon, and then find time to really talk to God because he always brings forgiveness ato.
Amen.
Amen. Uy, Gabi, ba't ala karon lang gud ko kabaluan na, Gab. Uy, power kayo. Kailakon ko kayo ng pag-istorya nimo.
Kato, I loved it. It's because kay
It's
parehas
very
sa gingon
heavy.
ni Joseph Bag, Satan meant it for evil, but God meant it for
For
good.
good. Yes,
And
Amen.
yes.
just so amazing all of us have dark past, all of us have broken past, but God is really using those brokenness na to, so na those sinful past na to really bring us into this glorious day nga we can help other people through our testimonies and through this redemption nga gihatag sa Ginoo sa to. So thank you, Gabi, for opening that. No, that is sensitive.
Oh, as in, super. And you can see, I would like to emphasize ba to those who are watching right now. So how do you obtain peace? How do you see things in a different way? Kinahanglan kita mag-paradigm shift. No, yung sinasabi ba, you have to change our perspective, and we can't change that by our own selves. No, kay kung ato-ato lang, katong yun akong ginaingon always, hangak gid siya. But if you will pursue Jesus, if you're going to surrender your life to Jesus, I believe everything will just flow. No, mukuan na lang na siya.
Everything will fall into
Musunod na
place.
lang. Oo. Sige, Sel, unsa timingon, Sel?
Yakato, everything will fall into its place.
Perfect places.
And in the right time when we really trust God, no. So kato, and so given that kato nating mga gina-unlearn and gina-learn, so how should we spend our time during this lockdown, this quarantine period? Sige, Ate Sheng.
So, ang question is how should we spend time? Tama ba? Okay. So, ang pinaka nagkuan jud sa ako karon na season is to really spend your time wisely. Kanang make the best use of your time because you don't know kung kano sa jud takwaon sa Ginoo. You know, it's very basic. It's really very basic to say that na takabalog kano sa takwaon sa Ginoo. And it's been very familiar sa ato ang laban sa Kristohanon nga atong paglakaw nga. Oh yeah, one day mo man magyapon atong life. But if we kind of kanang mo adto jud ta sa deep ana nga thought ba, are we really living life as if it's our last day? Cause di ko sure no how, I mean, God really orchestrated this night. Even ako teary-eyed ko when I was hearing Gab, because I'm not gonna go into details, but pretty much I
Yes,
have
sis.
same experience with him. And it really impacted me. I've been into wrong relationships before due to the fact that kanang na ako'y mga past na very sensitive to tackle, but I would like to also share with you guys na even I'm in fact when it comes to spending time with kanang last month, isa sa pinaka-close akong heart na relative is I mean namatay siya. Not COVID ha ang gikamatian niya, but highly sensitive matter, but
Mm.
I am very blessed na kana bang mo istorya ang Ginoo sa ato ang hey, this person really needs my help, ana ba, so I'm gonna use you. And since like pila na katuig jud ang milabay nga sige sige ko ingnan sa Ginoo ba nga hey, this person ana unya, syempre kanang wala ko sige Lord ako asyang istoryahon ana unya, it just makes sense when that person died na mao di ay kay urgent di ay kaayo. Urgent di ay kaayo nga paminaw ta sa Ginoo kay nay mga butang na ikaw ra ang makabuhat or na po yung mga butang. I mean, God can use anyone. God can use anyone sa ubang
Mm.
tao, but of course kanang gamiton ta sa Ginoo and kanang makita jud nato ang sense of purpose nato ba every time we obey God. And
Mm.
so, mag-question jud ko before nga ngano man ka to na person, ngano sige man jud ko nimo pastoryahon sa iya, nya sige ko nimo pa pangutan-on kung kumusta na siya, nya dili man siya kaayo mag-open up gihapon ana but he would always thank me nga I really appreciate you kay kanang
Mm.
sa mga gina-share karon about sa Ginoo, nya he would say na makasasala kay ko and ana nya I would share my testimonies ana I mean, akong gina-share na testimony sa public is kanang murag general siya, no? Just to I want to use this opportunity also to encourage everyone na stuck karon sa mga wrong relationships. Na it's not yet too late.
Mm.
I've been in a relationship where I really thought na that man is the real person for I mean kumpara jud sa who as the right person for me kay tungod gidawat ko niya in spite of my past kana may ana ba kay di ba siguro si Gab makarelate sa ako ani na if na ay sense na mawala sa imuha like sense of your innocence when you were young and mo affect siya sa imo hangtod mo hangtod magdalaga ka and you would really feel insecure na napakaya mo dawat sa kuha may ana ba napakaya
Mm.
mo dawat sa kuha and I'm telling you right now kung ikaw man na yes jud kaayo. Yes, jud kaayo. You don't need to hurry. You don't need to settle
Amen.
for less. You don't need to settle for less na mo yung ka umurag ko ano man gud kay siya naman good kay kanang mo dawat sa ako ana no nya mo settle na lang jud ka
Ti,
for
masyado
less.
siyang sweet eh. Charot.
Yeah, but again no I was stuck also in that type of mindset
Mm.
nga wala na budawat wala na yung ing ana but no, once you've seen your value in God and you would see yourself again as precious as God would see you,
Man, right.
then you would just stand up and say, I am a child of God.
Yes.
I don't need to settle for less because I am a
Mm.
child of God. So it would really take God's intervention for that mindset to be in your mind. No, kanang
Mm.
dili siya ura-urada, posible siya mahimong ura-urada, but you need to have a sensitive, I mean, kana bang, Lord, moabot man gud ang part sa tong life na discontented na ta ba sa tong sitwasyon. Murag permente naman ning ani, murag nantod kanos I can't live it anymore. I can't do this anymore. Yeah, you tend to stay with temporary happiness, pero at the end of the day, empty ka. At the end of the day, kana bang tortured imong emotions. I would say this because I am talking to a lot of young people right now who are stuck in wrong relationships. Even some people are being hit by their partners.
Mm.
I mean, physically abused. And I would really encourage them, you don't have to settle with that person. God has so much for you. I mean, takkan kay plano si Lord ba? Dako kay iyang plano para sa tuwa. So, ing ana. So, basta spend your time wisely, Jod, and think many times. If you need to think billion or million times, do so because imong decision karon, it would really affect sa imuhang kaugmaon. It would really
Men.
affect kung sa ugma nimo.
Right Alam no, kanindot po anta sa atong discussion ay daghan pa ko gusto ipangutana but since we're running out of time, sige mangutana ta sa ato ang mga ano yan, mga nanonood sa atin ngayong gabi. Oh. mga viewers. Ala, hi Ayi, hi Pastor Chester, daghan nagatan-aw. Kana namoy mga pangutana kay Gab or kay Ate Sheng. Let's take this opportunity. Si JR, baka naki-question JR.
While waiting
Yes,
for their questions,
sige,
no,
Sel.
let's ato sang ko ano ang atong last question kay lahat dito. So, what are your tips or advices on how should we grow and how should we adjust ourselves during this time of crisis?
Yung mga practical tips ha, unsa dapat ang imuon sa mga young people, mga married couples, yung mga practical tips na pwedeng makuan sa atong mga viewers, ma-apply. Sige, who will go first? Gab. Okay, go Gab.
Okay, sige. I have three practical tips. First, yun
Sige.
is the first one is be good to others, especially sa strangers. Even sa Book of Hebrews, we don't know na that stranger might be an angel. So, pero maski dili lang ana na murag you want to be rewarded or something, but you should be God's voice, God's hands, God's ears, God's eyes in this season wherein people need God the most sa ilang kinabuhi. So number one is help people, help others even if they are stranger. And ikaduha is avoid intimate chats. People are bored. So if
Yes.
Ay!
you are
Ano na
talking with
intimate chats, Gabi?
so,
Nag-get to know man sila. Saan man.
so if you are talking with a person which is beyond 10 p.m. Mo man na gyud usually ang mga indicator sa mga
Pillow talk.
indicator if it's intimacy or not. So as much as possible, don't go beyond 10 p.m. and then
Yes.
if you think na kanang you are so attached na you are not in love, you are just bored. So if you are bored, find time to have fun, magdula ka, exercise ka, because being bored does not equate to being in love. So kanang tricky kayo na siya karon na season, so dapat pili magpataka yun o chat o masintin sa kinsa dara.
Man.
Nga ikatulo is to really make sure to always listen to God's ideas, kanang be
Ano?
skillful, put up your own business as much as possible. Everybody is doing their business. Let's not depend on if possible yun. If there are opportunities na masabtan man gyud na ay times na walang wala gyud ka, but we have in the book of Deuteronomy, even dito na God has given us the ability to make wealth. It
Yes.
did not say there na God has given us the ability to depend. Even sa Old Testament, we will lend money, as people of God, dili ta manghiram. So mo to ang always na to i-declare sa atong sarili, put up your own business, be practical, save money, and don't spend your money on anything na dili importante.
Moro to? O sige.
Yeah,
Si Ate
mato.
Sheng. Thank you, Gab. Si Ate Sheng.
Sige, so ako naman, practically speaking, during this time sa quarantine season, I really encourage everyone, not just the young people, but also to young couples out there nga kanang wala work pero na ay computer baron or internet. Really make use of this time to learn new things like online courses, divert your attention, make your day productive. So you can be productive even when you are just staying at home. Me, I've been a VA for 6 years now, and I would say na nagi career online. And so I encourage everyone na kung namoy internet, namoy laptop, namoy computer, tablet, whatever it is, um learn new things. Daghang YouTube tutorials, and you can tap me kung naay murag
Thanks.
kwan. Yeah, just message me, hey, kanay ani ate na. And then second is value your relationships. So as I've said, treat people as if it's their last day or your last day. And then let God decide for your life, plan for your life according to God's plan. Because if you are not, then Satan is. Nagaplano si Satan po sa tumang kinabuhi. And if you don't have plans for your life, then i-take advantage na sa yawa para mo na yung mga plano sa imong kinabuhi. So be wise.
Okay.
Ay, sige, wala na kay idugang te.
Yeah, that's it. Okay na
Taas-taas sa
po.
tong istoryahan na ron, no? O sige. So, kana lang siguro, but before, sige. Ibutang sa siguro na to si Ate Sheng og si Gab. Thank you, Gab, Ate Sheng,
Thank you so
for
much.
tonight.
Thank you.
And so
Ibutang sa mo
Thank
na
you.
mo.
our waiting room first and we will talk to you later po. Okay.
Tayo na.
Okay.
Hey! Giselle, maghimong tagko. Ha?
Gusto pa kayo makipagstorya sila.
Gano'n ka ng, no? Amazing, no? Amazing ilang
Ako,
testimonies.
especially ako makarelate yun to.
Gusto ko
Because
makarelate.
you know my past as well, di ba? I've been into wrong relationships also. Nag-compromise pud ko before, but karon yun ako nakita ang beauty of God's redemption ba.
Yes, no?
Dili
Amazing,
dili
no?
kita pasagdan ni Lord, like kanang dili gyud siya mosugot nga buak ta, dili gyud siya mosugot nga kanang guba ta. He will really kanang make us whole, and it's only Jesus who can really make us whole.
Loy, magila ka na yung bantaan ni. Oy, bitaw, I mean, God would always make beauty from ashes. So, kung feel ni mo, ikaw ang pinaka unwanted, ihid ka sa pamilya, no, at dili talented and everything. Then, no, let's hear, no, inspiration karon ng atong mga speakers and even si Giselle. Medyo naga-confess si Giselle a little bit. And actually, sa ako apod, no, that wala gid ta ni adto or wala ta nag-serve kay Jesus because we were perfect, no, we perfect tadaan, but we came to Jesus because we have realized, no, na ani gid mi ka broken, no,
Yeah, and
now
we need him.
ha.
We need him every day.
Yes,
Yun.
yes. Tas ka na, no, okay, lakon na ko, Giselle. Unta ka rin ato ni.
But before
Anyway,
that, sa key takeaways na to.
sige, key takeaways. Ako first, katugyod. You can't change everything unless you change your paradigm, perspective, no? So, make sure na kung gusto ka mausab, you have to, it goes down deep sa atong perspective eh. So, kinahanglan usabon ang panlantaw. And how do we change it? Katugyod. If you want to form godly habits, moment ginatong ibalik-balik sa last week pa, always first things first, receive Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior, and develop an intimate relationship with Him. Ikaw, Sel.
So ako po is katong gingon ni Gab na being busy that does not mean we are productive.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I have learned in the podcast that I have listening, we should have this kalimot ko sa term. Kanang we should have goals during the quarantine or na samtang napata diri sa balay or quarantine bucket list na to in a quarantine. So we really need to have goals to really kanang do things as if nga naata sa gawas, dapat dili mas stop ang atong life kay tungod lang naata diri sa balay, and use this time as well to really listen to God more, because before this quarantine we are caught up with all the busyness of the world. So this is really the time to really listen to God, to listen to His heart, and to know kung unsa gyud ang gusto ipabuhat ni Lord sa ato.
Yes.
So let's tuod gyud ko atong giingon sa root ba that we are born for such a
It's a
time as
time like this. Yes.
nag-reason si Lord. And although karon dili pa nimo makita asa gid ko padulong unsa gid akong purpose, unsa akong calling, but read the Bible, meditate on the word of God, and expect that the Lord will encounter you as you seek Him with all your heart. So kata lang.
And they can also message us, no, sa Anchor. So feel free to send us messages na may mga questions about the Lord kaning among ginapang istorya karon kay murag wala naga-mixes murag medyo dagko man nga idea. So you can actually feel free. You can message us, ask us. So kadto. And natay kuan next Thursday. So unsa ba ang next Thursday nato, Giselle?
Next Wednesday. Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Sige. Di, sa Takeaway Thursday pa mata. So, Takeaway Thursday, next Thursday, guys, brace yourselves, prepare, because we will be talking about womanhood.
Womanhood.
How to be a woman. Charot.
Calling as a woman.
Ano, unsa Sel?
Sa tong calling as a woman. I just want to
Oo.
correct it akong ingon. It's an Esther. Na-wrote naman ko na.
Oo. So, kaya na, how to be a woman? How to be a woman?
Yes,
How to
the
be a woman?
biblical calling of a woman.
Yes. So, kana po. And sa Sunday din, no? We have a special guest sa atong Sunday online hangout. So, guys, alas 6 gihapon na.
Yes.
Sunday online hangout, no? And we have a special guest. So, yeah,
Yes.
tune in
Kung
sa
ba
Anchor.
pangalan or dili sa?
Dili lang sa surprise.
Mag-promote lang sa ta.
Oo.
Ay, poster na lang. Okay.
Para makuan ma-excite ang atong mga viewers. So, unsa pa ba? Ang atong spotlight finds. Sige. Sorry.
Please watch Jasper Rivera on our second Spotlight Finds. And if you want to be featured here in Anchor, you can send us a message or send your videos at anchor2020@gmail.com.
Guys, you should. Kasi
Yes.
sumisikat na ang Anchor.
And I also want to say hi to Mona. She is watching. Hi, Mona.
Tsaka kay din sa workmate na ako, si Joyce. Nagpa-shout out. Hi, Joyce. Wala na. Asa na siya? O, sige. Wala tayo questions, Gisela?
For me, wala. Daghan ko questions sa ilaha.
Sa ilaha, ano na to, no? Anong tawag dyan? I-secret na to sa istorya karon. So, wala may question, guys. Amo na yun din ko officially close sa among Takeaway Thursday. Wala naman siguro sila question. So, I think that's it for tonight. No, we are empowered. We are blessed with those tips, no practical tips. Uy, gwapo tong tips ni Gab. Mga young people out there. Nice to nga magtikid tato. Sige na. Ay, let go na nato ng atong mga viewers tonight. Goodbye. This is Marielle.
This is Giselle.
And saying goodbye. Good night. God bless.
God's
See you next
glory.
week. Yes. Bye.
Bye.